Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Ashley. I'm currently 34 weeks pregnant. I'll be 35 weeks on Monday. Today is Saturday, so in a couple of days I'll be 35 weeks. But hopefully there's not too much background noise today. I decided to film in my beauty room. I have never filmed in this room before, this specific room, because this is my new beauty room since I gave the baby my original beauty room. Just because of the placement of where it is in the house, I feel like it's right in the center of the house, so it's perfect for her. But yeah, so today's video, as you guys can see by the title, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my third trimester symptoms. I have a list on my computer. Hopefully I added everything. I think I did, because I kind of sat there and really was like, what kind of symptoms have I been experiencing? I'm going to try to give you guys some of the remedies for some of the stuff that I do have remedies for, based on my midwife's recommendations and research, and based on what I've been finding that does work for me. So for those of you guys who don't know, this is my first pregnancy, so I didn't really look up third trimester symptoms videos. I just decided I'm going to make my own, because I know that everybody's pregnancy is different, and some people, they go through pregnancy with no aches and pains. They're able to work out their whole pregnancy. They have full energy. For the most part, I can say pregnancy has been good to me. If you guys didn't see my first video of me talking about my pregnancy announcement and my 4 to 6 week symptoms, I'll link that somewhere in the iCard so you guys can see that. I didn't experience like morning sickness or anything like that, so that's a blessing. But now in my third trimester, things have changed a lot. I didn't really do a second trimester video. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. I could grab my little list to kind of break that down for you guys real quick. Hold up, let me do that. Okay, so the only things that I did have written down from my second trimester, because I kind of stopped journaling all of my symptoms at some point in pregnancy. I was kind of just like, I'm tired of doing this. But for my symptoms for around 16 weeks, these are what I was noticing. So technically, I guess that's my second trimester. I noticed I did get a lot more energy back during my second trimester. I wasn't as tired. I had a little bit more of an appetite. The veins in my legs, varicose veins in my legs, did start to begin swelling. I think they might have appeared in my first trimester, but I don't remember. But I know for sure they started to swell in my second trimester. Like the veins themselves kind of like would swell up. My boobs were not as sensitive anymore, and I started to experience mild lower back pain. I'm glad I started editing this video right now, because something I actually did forget to mention is that I was experiencing growing pains in my second trimester as well. The growing pains, they felt almost like really intense period cramps. It would come in waves. The growing pains are just basically your uterus expanding to give the baby more space. So they would either call it round ligament pains or growing pains, but they're the same thing based on what I've learned. I did end up going to the emergency room around Christmas Eve, I believe, because I was in so much pain, and it was round ligament pain / growing pains, and I didn't know what it was, so I was getting worried, like, is something wrong with me? Is something wrong with the baby? And it was literally just growing pains. It was just everything expanding, making space for the baby, and I wasn't sure what that was. So if you experience that, try not to worry too much. But if you do end up calling your OB, they might end up recommending you to go to the emergency room too, if you're experiencing like strong, intense pain like I was. But like I said, it comes in waves. It wasn't like a consistent pain, but when it came, it was strong and intense. But yeah, so that's it for the second trimester. And then for the third trimester, I have a longer list. So that's what this video is actually going to be titled, is third trimester symptoms. But I wanted to give you guys a little update on that. Probably going to be like pregnancy updates / third trimester symptoms, something like that. Overall, I can say I'm doing good as far as pregnancy update. I still feel like I'm not fully prepared as far as like the things I have for my baby, but I know that it's going to all be a learning process. So I'm trying not to overwhelm myself with that. Excuse me. That's one of my symptoms, is burping. It's not terrible, but one of the main symptoms that I experienced, and it got really, really intense during this trimester, third trimester, is the varicose veins in my legs. Now, before I was pregnant, I had one small varicose vein. Varicose, however you say it, the veins in your legs. Before I was pregnant, I had, like I said, one small one. And then I noticed in the second trimester, I think that's when I noticed they started to swell up, and they started to get bigger and longer. They began to get painful. When I say painful, I mean like painful. Like it literally felt like I had bruises on my legs. Like my legs are so sensitive sometimes. Like if I bump into something, I'll get a bruise really easily. And it's in both my legs. It's not just one of them. Out of breathness, of course, that's been a symptom since like the end of my second trimester going in third trimester. I've been out of breath constantly. But with the varicose veins, they would get so bad sometimes to where they were burning. Like, because I would be on my feet at work for 8 hours a day, working 40-hour weeks. So it got pretty intense. And I talked to my original OB about my leg pain, and the only thing they could recommend is go to the emergency room so they can do an ultrasound on your legs. And I'm just like, okay, thanks a lot. I'm not gonna do that. And then she recommended elevating my legs, which I found that online. Okay, elevate your legs at night when you go home. Great. I was doing that. But the pain didn't really really change much. So now I currently do not go to an OB. I have a midwife. She recommended me taking magnesium at night. I bought the magnesium that they sell at the birthing facility, and so far it's been helping me with other issues that I've been having that I'm going to tell you guys about. But it has been helping with the varicose veins slightly. I'm not going to say it's like a magical worker, but I do feel like it has helped a lot. And also I'm on leave from work, so I feel like that's helping a lot too, like not being on my feet all day, because I felt like my job, it was like it didn't matter that I was pregnant. I was still working just as hard as everybody else in the department. And then after I got a doctor's note, I got a stool occasionally, but that was it. Like my workload didn't change. It was still pretty intense. I feel like to be pregnant, you shouldn't be doing that much labor, but we're in America, so yeah. So I'm really grateful to be on leave from work. And then other things she recommended too for the varicose veins is taking baths more frequently. She told me to take a bath every day if I can, which technically I can take a bubble bath or a bath every single day with Epsom salt in it, but some days I just don't have the patience to wait for the water to fill up. I just don't have it in me. I just want to go clean my body and get out. But I try to take a bubble bath at least 2 to 3 times a week. On a good week it's 3. So she said the magnesium in the Epsom salt helps as well, because I'm consuming magnesium, and then also the magnesium in the Epsom salt helps as well. And then I recently went to go see a chiropractor, and when she was looking at my legs, she noticed that one of my legs, my calves were swollen on one side, and I let her know about my varicose veins because I had on leggings, so she wasn't able to actually see it. She recommended tangerine oil, so I actually just ordered some that should be coming in the mail tomorrow, and she said just mix it into like a body butter or something like that and just rub that on my legs. So hand in hand with the varicose veins, something else that I've been experiencing, and it has not happened in a while. I think the last time this has happened was a few weeks ago, and I did up my dose of magnesium per my midwife's request since then, and I haven't experienced this again. But Charlie horses in the middle of the night is usually when it would happen, and it was not all the time. The Charlie horse would be so bad that it literally would wake me up out of my sleep, and I would be screaming like, ah! And I'll be like telling my fiance, I'm like, help me, rub my leg, like trying to get it to go away. There was one night it happened like 2 hours apart, like where I woke up out of my sleep twice with excruciating Charlie horses in my legs, like where it was scary. But I did find out that that could be linked to the varicose veins in my legs. So the most I could do with that is continuing to do like stretching and things like that, do the same routines that I've been doing. I haven't experienced them anymore since I've been upping my dose on magnesium, taking more bubble baths, like soaking my legs after my day. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, that was pretty intense, because after the Charlie horse, my leg would literally be so sore. My calves would be so sore afterwards, and it would suck to have to go to work after that, waking up in the middle of the night to a really bad Charlie horse and then having to go to work and walk on my legs. Like, it was the worst feeling. It started to get really depressing going to work, because it's like my body was going through it, and it's still going through it. Be pregnant and go through these things and still have to work and try to be okay with not being okay because I'm at work. Like that was just, it was so frustrating. But yeah, so other pains, because a lot of the stuff that I'm listing is mostly different types of pains that I've been experiencing. So intense growing, because I'm not saying growing pains, because my growing pains this trimester have not been that bad, but intense groin pain, like pelvic area pain, that has been out of control. This past week, it's been a little bit more manageable. I had a couple of days where I just felt like Superwoman, like I wasn't waddling or anything, but the growing pain or pelvic pain caused me to start waddling. I know pregnant women get a waddle. I would be in so much pain to where like each step that I'm taking hurt. And I was telling management at my job, like, I'm in pain. Honestly, at the end of the day, you're their employee. They want you to do what they want you to do. The only thing that happened, like I said, was I got a stool to accommodate me sometimes, occasionally. And that's that. That was kind of frustrating. It caused me to walk really slow. Like I noticed that I couldn't like walk as fast as I normally would because I would be in so much pain. That was the main thing when it came to like my groin pain. It would make it hard to even getting out the car, getting out of bed, like, right in my pelvic area. It would be like so intense. I would just try to move like normal, like forgetting like, oh yeah, I have this issue going on down here. I would just try to get up and it would be so painful, like, or I'm just like, ah. And then what made it worse is because I was at work, right? And it would be a lot of times I would have to get down on my knees and get back up, get down on my knees and get back up. And that was one of the most painful things to do at work. And that's not me just complaining. The other thing is like, because I was working, I was not doing what I'm doing now. now, which is doing my morning stretches, doing daily yoga. I haven't started going out for walks yet. I've only been on leave from work for like a week and a half almost. I'm planning on starting to go take more walks now too, because I got like 5 weeks left or so. So I'm like, I need to keep moving my body, because when I was at work, I was walking a lot. I tracked my steps one day and I was like 11,000 steps for the day. I was like, whoa. And that would explain why I'm in so much pain and why my veins in my legs are so bad. And yeah, that's that as far as the groin pain. And then my bladder, I've noticed my bladder is so much more sensitive this trimester, which I know that's normal. My bladder waits for no one. Not always, but like sometimes whenever I sneeze and I cough, I gotta hurry up and cross my legs to make sure that I don't pee on myself, have a little tinkle. Because of the issue with my bladder being weakened, I've been wearing panty liners more frequently, almost every day. Like when I'm not home, when I leave the house, I'm putting a panty liner on, because you never know, just to be cautious. I'm still extremely gassy, and I'm telling you, these third trimester farts are no joke. Like, I'm upset at the smell of these farts. Like, I don't care if that's disgusting. I just have to share this with you guys, because if you're pregnant, or if you have been pregnant and you have experienced this, or you go through this, I just want you to know you're not alone. It's just so offensive. I be so upset, like, ugh, I smell it and I get mad. I know that's disgusting, but I'm just so serious. I'm upset. My man's upset. My dog don't care. Like, he'll be snuggled right up under my booty and I'll let one out and he just keep sleeping. I'm like, you're disgusting. But I guess to dogs, that's normal. I don't know. I'm just assuming, because he just don't seem bothered at all. I'm bothered. And then another thing hand in hand with that region down there, I've been experiencing mild and occasional constipation. It's not often. Sometimes I'll go number 2 and it'll be like little poop pebbles looking like it was my Chihuahua's poop. And he's 5 pounds, by the way. So just to give you a visual description, it looks like my Chihuahua. But the magnesium has helped with that as well. Another thing too that I've been struggling with is getting out of bed. Oh wait, I already mentioned that. Getting out of the car. Sometimes it's painful to sit, or it was. And I'm trying to say like was, because I'm manifesting things continuing to go better since resting more. But it was very, very, very intense. These pains, like everything is more mild now. The struggling to get out of bed, I'm still kind of struggling. But there's a lot of things that you can do to kind of help yourself with that. Like if you are experiencing groin pain or pelvic pain, you have to just be more mindful as far as like how you hike yourself up out of bed. Like, don't just fling yourself out of bed, because that was something I was doing and it was causing me a lot of pain. So instead of just throwing yourself out of bed, make sure you take your time, keep your legs as close together as possible, scoot to the side, and then once you're on your side, push yourself up. Don't just like fling yourself out of bed. That's also good for your core. You want to keep your core protected too during pregnancy, because it's easy for us to like damage our body unknowingly, because we have all this extra weight and we're just trying to like move around like normal. But we have a whole human inside of us. We have extra weight on our body. Like, we have to be more mindful of our bodies. Like, yes, women are so powerful, so amazing, so strong, but we still have to take care of our bodies. So we can't just be flinging ourselves around like we don't have a baby inside of us. What else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, sleeping. Now, for the most part, I sleep pretty good for the most part, but I do experience a lot of aches when I'm sleeping. I just have to turn sides a lot while I'm sleeping now. I didn't go through that as much at the beginning of my pregnancy, like first and second trimester, but right now, oh my gosh, every time I get up to go use the bathroom, which is usually about 3 to 4 times a night, I'm swapping sides to make sure that I'm not like constantly just laying on one side and that's causing extra pain and aches in my body. But what's been helping with a lot of these issues, including the back pain, the varicose veins, the struggling to get up out of bed, and all that stuff, has been being more active. At home, since I haven't been really taking a lot of walks yet, what I've been doing is doing yoga and stretching. And there's a bunch of videos you can look up on YouTube, like prenatal yoga, third trimester yoga, third trimester stretching. I usually do that for about 30 minutes a day, and that has been helping so much. The first day I did that, I got up, I felt like Superwoman, like I was saying earlier. Like, I literally did not feel pregnant. I know that sounds weird, but I was just able to walk around normal. I wasn't waddling or nothing. I was just like, wait, hold up. Like, I hope this feeling stays here. Today I'm still waddling a little bit, but it's okay. Like, it comes and it goes in waves as far as aches and pains, but overall it has been a lot less than it was before. Something really weird that happened about a week ago, not a full week ago, like at the beginning of this week, is that I got very, very dizzy. That has not happened to me at all throughout my pregnancy, but I got so dizzy to where, I got so dizzy to where the entire room was spinning. It felt like when you drink too much and you're like, oh, I'm about to go down. Oh, I need to throw up. Oh, I need to lay down. That's literally the type of feeling that I got. The thing that made it more weird is that it wasn't because I didn't eat, because I had just eaten dinner like 20 minutes before and then I got in the shower. It was a warm-ish to hot-ish shower. Like, like not boiling, but it was like a warm shower. You know, like when the bathroom is steamy, it was like that. And the whole room was spinning. And I thought maybe once I got out the shower, I would feel a little bit better. My man, he put the fan on. I laid down. I made sure I put on loose fitting clothes. I had on shorts and like a loose t-shirt. The room was still spinning. I'm laying down, the room's still spinning. So hour goes by. Anytime I would try to like lift my head up, the room's still spinning. So then eventually we were just like, all right, let's go to bed. And then I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, my normal routine. Room still spinning. I'm like, what is going on? 4 o'clock, I get up again. I use the bathroom. The room's still spinning. After that, it didn't happen again, but that was the first time I experienced that. And I have to assume it's due to pregnancy, because what else would it be from? It was just weird, you know? And it was even more weird because I had just eaten. It wasn't like I deprived myself of nutrients throughout the day, and that's why I'm dizzy. After my appointment this past week, they did do some blood work and take a urine test just to check to see what it could possibly be, why that would have happened. And then they checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was a little high, but it wasn't ridiculous. Every time up until this appointment, my blood pressure has been 120 over something. I don't know, like 120 over 80, like the normal range. It's always been normal, so they've never did anything like that. But since it was a little bit high, they were like, let's just check. So they'll see what that's about. And then another symptom that I've been experiencing is mild cramping. It does happen occasionally where, and it's like, it's hard for me to tell if it's like gas cramps, baby moving cramps, growing pain cramps. I don't know what it is, because like I said, this is my first pregnancy, so all these feelings and symptoms are new to me. But yeah, so mild cramping. And then, Braxton Hicks, you guys. Now, that has not been terribly awful, but when it comes, I'm just like, wait, hold up. This feels like period cramps. Like, what is this? But I've heard that that's normal too, because that's just your body getting ready to go into labor whenever that time comes. Speaking of going into labor, good news is that my baby is head down. She's been head down for the past few weeks now. I'm grateful for that. She's very active, so I always have that reassurance that she's healthy, she's okay in there. Every time I go to my appointments, her heartbeat is good. The last ultrasound I had, everything was good. Overall, that is my update. So the takeaways from this video that I want you to take away from it, if you have been experiencing any of these things, is that what I've been using and what's been helping is mainly stretching and moving my body, yoga, and the baths definitely help. Taking the magnesium. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, I'm glad I just remembered, is the magnesium helps with a few of these things. It helps with constipation. It helps with the varicose veins. It helps with helping you sleep better at night. So yeah, I don't know if there's any specific type of magnesium you should be taking. The one that I use is just the one that I got from my birthing facility. But definitely, if you want to start taking magnesium, talk to your healthcare provider and look into which one would be best for you to take. Other things that I do too as well. During the beginning of my pregnancy, I was doing it all the time, drinking beet juice and pomegranate juice. Beet juice and pomegranate juice. At the beginning of my pregnancy, I got a little scared that my placenta was lying low. That was like 16 weeks. So at my first appointment, that was something they told me. My first appointment wasn't until I was 16 weeks because I just couldn't get an appointment. These OB clinics out here in Texas, I don't know what's going on. My appointment got pushed back that far. So I started to look up different natural remedies, and I seen that pomegranate juice was good for placenta care. So I started to drink that. And then the OB I had, if you guys watched any of my other videos, but the OB that I had on the first day meeting me, not knowing any history of my health or anything like that, she had mentioned that I was at risk of preeclampsia because I was African American. And let me tell you something. The reason why that bothered me so much is because, one, you have no history of my health. You did not ask my ethnicity. You just assumed based on the way that I look. Now, I identify as being a Black woman, but my family, my mom and my dad are both from Belize, which is in Central America. So for you to just label me as African American and that's why I'm at high risk of preeclampsia is BS to me. Like, I am of a mixed ethnicity and you have no knowledge of my health. Really? And it's like, this is my first appointment and this is what you're telling me. And then she told me to start taking aspirin. Anyways, that's neither here nor there because I'm no longer seeing her. And yeah, that was just definitely an experience. Like, going to the birthing center for my appointments has been so different. It has been just a peaceful environment. The facility itself, it just feels good going there because it doesn't feel like a freaking doctor's office. It feels tranquil. It feels peaceful. It's beautiful in there. Like, the birthing rooms are so beautiful. The energy every time you walk in there is just so peaceful. They always have some sort of like aromatherapy going off in there. It's just a vibe. I know I went off into a tangent, but beet juice and pomegranate juice, beet juice, the reason why I mentioned the beet juice thing is because beet juice is good for helping keep your blood pressure low, or helping to regulate your blood pressure. Also, grapefruits help to regulate your blood pressure as well. And this last month I hadn't been taking beet juice or grapefruits or anything like that, so my blood pressure being a little bit higher than normal was just a reminder for me to get back on drinking my beet juice every day. And I got some grapefruit, so I can start eating my grapefruits. And yeah, so those are just different natural holistic remedies for some of these other issues, instead of, like, the OB had told me literally take aspirin every single day. And then when I went to my midwife, she was just like, you don't have to do that. I wasn't taking the aspirin every day anyways. Like, I got it and I would take it occasionally, like maybe once or twice a week. Like, I wasn't taking it daily because I'm not big on taking medication in general, but aspirin is technically a pain reliever. So sometimes when I would be in pain, that would be my excuse to take it, or my reasoning to take it, not because the OB said take it daily to keep my blood pressure low. Anyways, I hope this little video was helpful for you. If it was, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Turn on your post notifications so you guys can be notified every time I upload a new video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.